guys. Can you confirm if you're able to hear me? Okay, thank you, Neeraj. Uh, so we'll wait for a few minutes, right, and then we'll start the session. So if you have any queries, you can ask me. Any queries, guys? Okay, guys. So uh, okay, see this. So there are certain things that you can do in Python, like, that comes under the coding standards, right? If you want to see the indentation in Python, for example, right? Now, white spaces or the spaces that you leave is what controls the indentation, right? Okay. So, say for example, if you want your code to look nice and beautiful, you can give four spaces: one, two, three, four. Okay. So that is something that can be done in Python. Okay. Four spaces rule. You can remember this rule. Uh, leaving four spaces in front of your code. So that is one way, or that is the best practice that you take while you're writing the code. Okay. Now, if you don't leave four spaces, or if everything is not aligned the way you are seeing here, then it is going to lead you to an error. Excuse me. Okay. So all these statements that you're writing, including commenting, all those things, you can simply give four spaces. Okay, you can compare it with the single tab press. Okay, so I'm executing this. Let's see if I'm able to execute this or not. Okay, there's no error while executing it, so it's working. Correct. So we call it four spaces, which is basically equivalent to tab, right? When you press a tab button or tab key on your computer. Now, see you guys. So I can do something like this also in Python, right? That is the beauty of the Python, that I don't have to run the complete file, right? I can select a part of the code and I can press Control Enter and I can execute this. Now, see you guys. Now, if I do something like this, my indentation goes, and if I try this, okay, still showing just a second. Okay, so in normal cases you will get an error, right? Because Python completely depends on the white spaces. Okay, you can see that uh, in this case, when these are not aligned, x, y, and p, you're getting an indentation error, right? So for the beautification of your code, you can say that, and for the not getting the error, you have to follow the indentation like this. Okay, so that is one thing that you can do in Python. And apart from that, say if um, you have a big expression, right? Okay, where you are, say, returning a lot of values, or where you are creating a lot of values. Just take an example. Okay, let's say that you have a list of people. So normally, how are you going to create the list? Like this. Say, Pidhan Max. Okay, this is how you create a list. Okay, this is a list of people. Now, in Python, what you can do is you have, say, instead of just four names, you have, say, 20, 30, 40, 100 odd names, right? So how are you going to make it work, right? So in Python, we use a term that is called hanging indent, right? Where what do? It basically work like this. You separate them by simply hitting the enter, and you'll see that everything is there, as in they are hanging vertically. So you can leave the first one. Rest of it you can follow. Normally you can do it for the first one also. Just a sec. Yes, we should start with the first one. That would be better. Okay, you can do it like this. So all the elements are hanging vertically, right? And it makes your code look cleaner. And that is the standard way that in which we basically uh, handle the indentation. And write the code and arrange your variables, or say these are, say, a list. You can have dictionary, you can have different variables which you can use, right? Okay, that is how you can work. So now another question that occurs in mind is whether I should use spaces when talking about the indentation, or I should use uh, tab. So that is one of the very big confusion that Python developers have, whether to use spaces or use tab, right? Okay, especially in these scenario. So still there's a lot of ambiguity regarding this. So um, it's up to you what you want to use. You want to use spaces or tabs, but the documentation of Python says a usage of spaces. But again, single tab and four spaces are almost actually are of the same. Let me say that length or width, whatever you want to call this distance between the uh, leftmost point to your variable x or y. Okay. And one more thing, hitting space bar 4 times is far more time consuming than hitting a tab button. Right? So that's why I prefer using tab, not the spaces. Okay, sorry guys. Uh, One more thing that you can do is something like this. See now, Python IDE, whenever I hit enter from here, knows that where to go. Right? It has already placed us 4 spaces or a single tap away from the leftmost point. Right? So say you want to perform a total operation, right? Summation, you'll have A plus B plus C plus D. Now in this case also you can work like this. You can work like this. Either you can hit enter after or basically before the operator, that is addition of operation. So you can hit and enter after that. Now, when I hit enter, I see that I'm shifted to the leftmost part. Hit tab, and it'll be right there. Either you can work like this, or you can have the addition sign before the B, C, and D. It's up to you. It's totally up to you. Okay. Got this? So from now on, please make sure that whenever you are writing a code, you are this distance away from the left. Okay. Now, when you are creating a variable in Python, okay, there are certain things that you should keep in mind. Okay, I'll remove these. We don't need this. Okay, we'll see this. This was just an example. So whenever you want to create a variable like x, y, or something like this, there are certain things that you should keep in mind. Right? Okay, your variable can begin start with the character that is in lowercase or uppercase. It's up to you. Right. Apart from that, it can also begin with underscore. Okay, underscore variable creating variable with underscore in the start is very common in Python. Okay, so that is how your variable name should start. You can have underscore Vidhan. You can have Vidhan starting with lowercase v. You can have Vidhan starting with uppercase v. It's up to you. Right. Okay. All these three ways are acceptable, or these are the coding standards that is acceptable in Python. Okay. Python is case sensitive. That is one more thing that you should know. So lowercase p here and uppercase p will be entirely different thing. Right? And mostly you'll get error when instead of lowercase p in print you write uppercase p. Variable names can be of any length. It's up to you. Right? How lengthy you want to create a variable name. It's totally up to you. Now there are certain reserved words that you cannot use for creating a variable. I'll share that those words. Okay, so there are certain reserved words that you cannot use for variable. No, no, you cannot simply put an underscore. You have to combine it with something. It will be a character. Okay. So using only underscore for variable name is not a good practice. It's do not use that. So what do you define, or what do you call a good variable name? How do you create a good variable name? Right? Say for example, I created X and Y. How do you create a good variable name? So you should avoid using the short name. Right? You should be using meaningful and contextual name. Okay? That is the one thing that you should be doing, using meaningful and contextual name. Okay, and you should be maintaining the length of the variable name. Like try to have all of them of fairly roughly of the same length. Right? Okay, and be consistent. Right? When I say be consistent, then say for email ID, you're using this way of writing the code. Say email ID, right? Or you might use email ID. Right, both are same, both are, as in both are correct way of writing it. But then in the later phase of your variable creation, be consistent, right? Whether you use the, um, uh, I'm forgetting the name that we use. Right? Okay, what do we call this kind of a casing, guys? See you, no, Rajan, camel casing is this. Camel casing is this. This is not your camel casing. Okay, I'm forgetting the name, but it has a very good name, and most of us does not know that it has a name actually. That you have two words when you are using two words together for creating a variable name. Then you have two ways of writing it, actually three ways of writing it. Either uh, one of the way that is used a lot is camel casing, in which first character is lowercase, and the second word's first character is uppercase. So it's like a camel, like everything is lowercase, and then suddenly you have a letter just in middle and uppercase, and then everything is lowercase, right? Like a camel back. That is why we call it camel case. Then you have this way, in which all the words that you're using in the variable name has name starts with uppercase. And then you have the last way, which we avoid doing, is that all the names are, all the characters are in lowercase. Right. So you can use camel casing, or you can use this way of writing the variable name. It's up to you. Right. Both are apt. Okay. Now, one more thing. Whenever you are using underscore, right, only use it when you have very special variable names, or use it under special cases. Normally, start with a uppercase A or lowercase a. Right. That is something that you can do. Okay. You can use underscore in betweens. Right. That is a common practice. Like you have X value, then you can have X underscore new value, right? So like this, you can do that. Is very common. So that is not wrong in Python, right? So all these things that you can do, and rest of it I'll tell you as we go forward. Okay, as we start using them, I'll start telling you all about them. Okay, good. Now there are certain books that you can refer to, which are free. Just a sec. There's a site where you can actually get these books. Yeah. Okay. Now, if you want to practice, then there's one book which is called Learn Python the Hard Way, which is around 120 pages. It has all the exercises that you can refer to. This is a nice book. book. Okay, they have increased the size. That's wonderful. So when I used it, it was over 22 pages. Now they have gone more than that. Right from the setup, variable names, variable printing, strings and texts, more printing. What was that? Okay, asking questions, prompting people. Okay, you can refer to this. See this, guys. This is a nice book to have. Okay, learn Python the hard way. Apart from that, you can refer to these books. Okay, these are free ebooks. See, Python is open source, free. So a lot of books you will get, and amazing books like Learn Python the Hard Way you will get for free. Like this one is good. Python the Blueprint to Python Programming. Just make sure that whatever book you're selecting for Python 3, unless until if you have a project on which you have to work and you require to use Python 2, then go for a book for Python 2. This is also good. Okay, I think this is something that I've already shared. Okay, go to this site, guys, and look at the books. See, basics are going to be same. Now, if you're looking for the exercises, then learn Python the hard way is good for you. See, you see a lot of exercises which is going to help you out a lot in coding later on. Okay. Anyways, so that was your basic books. Now, design patterns. I think Dave had asked me for a book for design patterns. So you get a lot of books on design patterns also in Python. So I'm not sure about the author for this, right? Who is a good author for design pattern books? Right, but uh, this, just let me see. Yeah, yeah. By this Packet publication, this Python design pattern is kind of a good book. Uh, you might find it on the free ebooks. You'll have to search, right? Otherwise, you'll have to buy it from uh, some of the e-commerce site. Okay, simply check if some some free learning resource PDF provider website is providing it for free, and if it's not there, then you might have to go with this. Okay. Okay. Any queries, guys? Okay, you can refer to this also. Okay. So any okay, you don't have any queries, right? So let's start with the next part. So guys, create a new project. Save it. Keep it somewhere where you want it actually to be. So I'm going to keep it in D6. Right here we are going to learn control, like basically your loops. Sorry, not loops. If and else. That is control structure or control statements. So I'm simply going to name it as control. Right. Okay. So that this is your control. Now, under control, what comes is your if and else. Right. And if and else is something that we do a lot in our daily life also. Right. We do a lot of conditional based decision making. Right. Okay. Especially in the weather like this. Right. Rainy season in India. So it goes like this. See, basically, how we are thinking is how we make machine also think and work. So it happens every time. If it is going to rain outside, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to carry an umbrella. If it is going to be a sunny weather, what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply sunscreen. Right? If it is winter, I'm going to wear a sweater. Right. Okay. So these are the conditions that we go with, right? Every morning, I mean, we get up and we want to go to the work or school or college, right? Okay. Apart from that, we also have else. Right? That means that if everything does not work out, then you have always have else, right? And that is what we do in real life. That okay. If it's going to rain, I'm going to wear umbrella. Else, I'll go without the umbrella, right? Else, I'll do something else, right? Okay. So this is what we do in Python also, right? The only difference is that now what we do in real life, we are translating it in Python. And for that, in Python as a language, we have to use certain syntax. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to comment this and write a little description. Okay. So you should be in a habit of giving a kind of a documentation to your uh, program like this. Okay. Now, uh, let me tell you about the syntax. How does it look like? So you have if. If is a keyword, or you can say that special word that is used in Python. After if, you give a statement, right? We say that okay, if it's going to rain. So it's going to rain is a statement. If is a condition, right? Then what are we going to do? That what are we going to do comes inside the if, right? Because it's a sub part of if. If it's going to rain, then I'm going to do this, right? Now, for doing this, we use a special character in Python, which is called colon. We use it a lot. Now, as soon as you write colon and you hit enter, you'll see that your cursor automatically have shifted some places to the right. Okay, and that is happening because now Python is telling you that okay, you have written if, you have written statement, and now since you have written a colon, that means that you are entering into inner block. So Python understands this whenever you write a colon, you are entering an inner block, right? And inner block, you simply write your sorry, it's going to be a condition, not statement. It's a condition. Right? You give if, then you give the condition if it's going to rain. Then you write the statement what you're going to do if it rains. Right? It's going to be your statement block. Okay. So this is how your if basically looks like. Okay. See this? If okay, let's say an example. Let's say that x equals to 1 is the variable that you have. So if x is greater than 0, right? This is a condition, x greater than 0, colon, because now we want to do something if x is greater than 0. That will come as the inside part or the, you can say that, inner part or inner block for your if. I'm simply going to write print x is positive. Okay, now execute this. So I can select this part or I can run the complete code. It's up to me. Okay, we are getting an unexpected indentation. Okay, see, where am I doing the error here, guys? Can you tell me? Can you judge where I'm doing the wrong indentation, guys? space in left. Okay, see here. Um, okay, I see. You should avoid doing indentation for your curly brackets. Sorry, your triple quotes. Oh, try it out, guys. Okay, I'm selecting the particular part of the code to run this. Right, uh, we'll see. Right, so what is happening is x is equals to 1. Then your see how your Python is going to read this. First line Python is going to read as x equals to 1. Right. Okay, and after that Python will go to the second line. If x is greater than 0, then Python will put the value of x, and 1 is greater than 0. So that condition satisfies or condition holds true. If the condition is holding true, then your Python code will enter into this block. Otherwise, it won't. Okay. So if I give like this, then Python is doing nothing because this condition -1 is not greater than 0. So Python is not entering into the inner block to print x is positive. Okay. See this? Try it out, guys. Done? Okay. So that is your if. Right. So basically, you have different you can say that controls structure. You have if else, you have if else if. So these three are almost same. Then you have if elif, and then you have nested if. Okay. Now another syntax that you have. Okay, right now I'm going to keep it simple. Right. Yeah, let it be. Okay. Another syntax that you have if or is of if else. Right. So how does it work? So you have a condition basically where you're writing if and condition. Right. If that condition is satisfied, then you're going to execute. Python is going to execute this code statement block or statement code. Right. Now, if this condition is not holding true, which actually happened earlier in this case, right, then we want to do something, right? We want to handle it in some way. So it's like if it's going to rain, I'm going to wear a raincoat. But we have not defined, we have not told our computer what if it's not going to rain, right? So that comes under your else. Okay. So else will be like this. Else you can do uh, for false if true condition actually. This is how it should look like. So if then you pass the condition, then the statement block for true condition or the term condition is true, and this block is going to be executed. Otherwise, your Python code will move to else, and this code statement block will get executed. Let's see an example. Basically, you can add into this only. Okay, simple. If and else. Now you can try it out. Okay, make a change here, guys. What you need to do is, instead of hard coding it, ask it to be entered by the user. Okay, have it as a user entered value input. Okay. Try it out. Have the values being entered by the user. Rajan, we do have try catch in Python. It's entirely different from that. Try catch basically. Um, so we have try catch kind of a block in Python also, where we are meant to handle the error. Right? Okay. Here it's not meant to be handling error. If and else are not meant to be handling your errors. Right? If and else are not meant to be handling the error. Your try blocks are meant to be handling the error only. Right? Any kind of error. Okay. So that is the biggest difference, or the only difference you can say. Okay, when we'll be working with the file operation, I'll show you how to include try in there. Like, yeah, in Python, we don't call it try and catch like Java or other language. We call it try and except. EXCEPT, right? Or try and finally. Okay? Try except finally. So these are the terms that we use. They are same as try and catch, though. Yes, Sagar, exactly. So basically, what you're going to do here, I'm going to pass to an input function, uh, contain and a number here. Okay, and since comparison is between integer and integer, and the output of this will be a string, I'll have to convert it into integer. Okay, this is what you need to do. I'm going to enter the number. If it's 11, it's positive. If it's minus something, it's going to be negative. Right, so it's simple. So that is your simple if and else. Now, in Python, hey, see, um, This is a scenario where you have only one condition, right? That is where you are mentioning that, okay, the value is X, right? So it's like you're only mentioning that it's going to rain, right? So if it's going to rain, raining is the condition, then the statement will be, I'll be bringing my umbrella. Else, I won't bring my umbrella. Now there could be other conditions also. Instead of raining, it could be hailstorms, it could be a blizzard, it could be a hurricane, it could be a tsunami, it could be a sunny day, right? It could be a winter, right? So there could be multiple conditions that can occur. Now, how to handle those conditions, right? How to handle such condition where you have multiple, how to handle such situation where you have multiple conditions which have to be tackled, right? So for that, we use if else, basically if else if, right? Okay. Now, normally in all the languages, you'll see that we use if else if, right? Basically like this. But in Python, to save space, they have compress else if into elif, right? So you'll find if elif in Python. Now, how does it look like? So write if, it will always start with if. So condition one, right? This will execute for true condition one. And if the condition one is true, this is going to happen. Then you have else if. So if uh, then you have else if, which we write as elif. Will give the second condition, like blizzard is going to execute if the condition two is true. And similarly, you can have condition three, and you can have as many conditions as you want. Now, if all the conditions one, two, three are not working out, like they all are not being satisfied, then at the end you'll have else, which will get executed when each of the above condition is false. Okay, see this? If each of the above condition is false, this is going to get, or else block is going to get executed. Okay, basically there are two ways in which you can work, right? So let me give you one of the scenario. Let's say that where you want to calculate a mask. Say the scenario is uh, you are asking from students for their marks, and on the basis of what marks they are providing, you are grading them. Okay, you can try it out, guys. Take 5 to 6 minutes, not more than that. Right, asking for from. See, this is a problem statement asking from students for the percentage. Just ask for the percentage, right? And then you are providing them grade on the basis of percentage value. Right? For example, uh, you have to have these grades for greater than 90. The grade that will be giving them will be A. For between 80 and 90, grade will be B. Between 70 and 80, say grade will be C. Between 60 and 70, grade will be D, and so on. right? You can have between 50 and 60. You can have grade E, and the rest of it, let's call them fail. Okay, it's going to be F. Okay, anything less than 50 is fail now. Okay, just for the sake of our ease. Okay, let's call this fail. So this is something that you can try with the help of if elif, right? Because this has several conditions which can be uh, applied. Now, there's one thing that you would need to try. Okay, that okay. We have two conditions at once, or the person has to have should be in a range, right? Greater than 80, less than 90, right? So you can use end for that, or you can use ampersand sign. Try it out. No, the switch is not there in Python, but you can use it, you can apply it, but it's not actually supported in Python. Okay, somebody had raised their hand. I, yes. Okay, where should I try out? Suresh, I didn't understand your query. What do you want to try out? This exercise. For that, you'll be needing Anaconda. For now, if you don't have that, you can go to Google's Colab. I hope this was your query. If otherwise, kindly elaborate your query. Uh, Suresh, first of all, you can go to this site that I've shared with you, right? So since if you have not downloaded the Anaconda or Spider, you can work from here for now, right? And I'll suggest you to go to the LMS. You have a document there, right? For basically, there are a lot of sessions we have gone through. So go to all those sessions. I'll suggest you that, right? There you'll find a lot of things which will be helpful for you, right? Okay. But meanwhile, what you can do is you can go to this link, and here you can simply click cancel, right? And click on code. That's bad. Okay, you can click on file, new Python 3 notebook. And it's going to open you a new notebook that you can use. Okay, so if somebody is raising their hand, I am not able to see that. I don't know why. The list that I'm getting of your names is not. Yeah, now I can scroll it. Yes, Suresh, I'm unmuting you. Yes, Suresh, please tell me. Suresh, I'm
Yeah,
unmuting.
Vidhan. Yeah, Vidhan.
Yeah.
Tell me, uh, is this site is it of a collaborative site?
No,
In
no,
that,
it's no, no. It's Google's initiative. What they did was they created a server, and on that they created this Python's Jupyter structure, and you can use it for performing exercises.
Okay.
Okay.
All the IDEs are available like PyCharm and
No,
Notebook.
only this. Only this. Because Jupyter works on a web interface. That's why you'll find AWS, Azure also implementing this on their servers. So yeah, only
Okay.
Jupyter is available over the net, nothing else.
How far the course has come till now, and Vidhan?
We'll discuss that in the break. Okay, will that be all
Okay.
right? Okay, let's not discuss these things during the regular session time. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. There it is. So this is what you have to do. You can try it out. Right. Okay, I'll give you a simple example. Right, let's say that marks is 95. So right now I'm hard coding it. Right, you can try it out with user-defined input. That is what I'll suggest. If and you'll tell me if I'm doing right or wrong. Right. If marks is greater than 90, I can have greater than equal to. Now, how is it going to be? Is it going to be greater than equal to or equal to greater than? Okay, we'll have to check that too. So what I'm printing, uh, grade is A. Okay, that is one of the thing. Else, see, normally if I don't use elif, I'll have to use it like this. Else if, right? And it becomes quite a cumbersome, right? Using else and then again under else you have if. Like under if you'll have to write uh, like marks greater than equal to 80 and marks less than 90. Okay, so if I keep on doing this, right, let's say that print, I'm just giving you an example, the difference, right? Uh, grade is B. Again, I'll have to go to else. Again, inside this else, you'll have if. So you see that it's kind of a structure which is going inside and a lot more inside, right? You can see that the tab distance from the left is increasing every time. So we don't want that. That creates a lot of confusion. So what we do is instead of using else if, we use elif. Okay, we use elif. Okay, try it out. Say marks. Next is what? Greater than equal to 70 and marks less than 90. Okay, keep it uniform, guys. See. So here it is. C. It's less than 80. Okay, so I'm finishing it here. Right, I'm just checking all the conditions. If it's working or not. Okay. Okay. So try it out. Build on here. So there are a few things that you'll understand from this. Right. The purpose is to explain you elif. Right. Now you understand elif, guys? That is your else if condition. We instead of having an inner block, we are simply putting everything in the same block or same line. Right. I see that there's not much of the complexities in the way the code is looking. Right. But if you use else and if as an if, then instead of elif you're using else if, then you're going to get confused at a certain level if you have a lot of loops to handle. Oh, sorry, if you have a lot of conditions in your programming. right? So elif is the best way of working around or working with this, and that is why you have elif in Python. Now, another thing that you must be noticing is that I have used, see, first of all, greater than equal to is going to be common everywhere. Right? First, your greater than sign comes, and then your equal to sign comes, or less than sign comes, and then your equal to sign comes. Right? That is going to be common. Now, the condition is marks the variable value should be greater than 80. And also, see, I have used end. That means that both the conditions should hold true. Right? So if I have used, I could have used or, right? And that would have meant entirely different thing. Right? Okay. So I've used end so that I need to limit it between both the conditions should be satisfied. Right? And the other condition is that it should be greater than equal to 80, but it should also be less than 90. Right? So you can write it like this. Okay, and this is the way that I prefer to write. Okay, try it out. No worries. Notepad is also good. In fact, Notepad is something that we should all start working with. But again, it has its own flaws. Yes, it's good to write program like this. Okay, so this is a very simple if elif. Right? So you have if else, you have if elif. What next? How to open Jupyter? See, I simply shared a link with you, Suresh. You have to go to this link and you have to open this. Can I write the if like this? If no, no, you have to have a comparator somewhere. Rajin, you need to use a comparator operator. So, Suresh, homepage. Okay, do one thing. So basically, you should be opening this. Okay, do this, Suresh. Open this page. Okay, Suresh, see this very carefully. If you open the page link, you'll see. First of all, you have to be signed in to your Google account. Firstly, second, if you see this screen, simply click on cancel, click on file, click on new Python 3 notebook. Okay, that is going to take you where we are working right now. Okay, let me check, Sagar. Name input, please type your name, percentage float. Okay, okay, you're taking float values for percentage. Okay, makes sense. Please insert your percentage. If percentage is greater than equal to 90. Yes, you can also do like that, Sagar. Aditya, what error you're getting and paste your code so that I can go through it. When the marks are between 70 and 80 in else statement. Um, See, else does not have any statement. Okay, guys, understand this. Else does not have any statement. Okay, it's like these are things that we have done in our colleges, right? If we have money, we are going to watch movie. If we have vehicle, we are going to go there. If we don't have anything, we are not going to do anything. Else does not have any condition. Else we are going to stay home. Okay, so else does not have any condition. It only works when all the above condition fails. So do not write condition in else, guys. Alright, percentage is a single word, so you don't have to keep T as in uppercase. Yes, you can use ampersand sign also. Yes. See, instead of end, you can use ampersand sign also. That is what I've told you, right? Somewhere here. Yeah, you can use end or you can use ampersand sign. Okay. I prefer using end, so it's up to you. Okay, you can use both. Both are valid. Okay. Uh, can I do like this? Tell me guys, can I do like this? Can we do like this, guys? Now I want you to replace all that you have done like this. Okay, with this notation. All right, try it out. Okay. So there's another way you can do. I think Sagar had done this, right? Okay. So you can do a lot of things with Python. You have total control when you're working on these things. Okay. You can go to paste this. So Suresh, you can basically work like this. The code that I gave you, what you can do is, let me show you. And you can click play here, and it's going to execute everything on that server, right? Google server. Right? You can do like this. Because you can ask for the user to enter the marks or percentage. See, I've written the marks here, but it's basically percentage. Input. So I'm going to stick with the marks. Enter the mark. Enter your marks. Hey, since we are comparing with integer, we cannot compare string with integer. We'll have to convert it into int. Hit play. See, it is asking you to enter the marks, enter 66. And so competition has become tough. At 66, you fail. According to this. Okay. No, it is not important or required to have both Python 3.7 and Spider installed. So, Kuntal, if you are installing Anaconda, then it's a complete suite, you can say that, suite, whatever you want to call it, right? Where you get the Python installation, that is Python version 3.7. Apart from that, you get the Spider, you get Jupyter, and you get a lot of other things and libraries, a lot of these. So when you are installing Anaconda, you don't need anything else, okay? And Spider comes with that. From Anaconda's perspective, you don't have to install anything else. Can you please explain this type of elif? Because I have seen this first time. Okay, guys. Let me show you here. So basically, if I wanted to do this task in a normal way, how would I have done it? Right. See, we would have done it like this. We know if else. Right. Right. So you have if. Okay. If the marks is greater than 90, then do print grade A. Else, what do you want to do? Else, you want to do something else, obviously. Right. So in else, you'll have one more if. If then you can do that, right? Under if, under else, you can have another if, or under if also you can have another if. Marks is greater than or equal to 80, less than 90, then I want to print. See guys, it does not matter where I'm coding, right? Whether I'm coding on this uh, collab, or whether I'm coding on Jupyter, whether I'm coding on PyCharm, whether I'm coding on Spider, whether I'm using Notepad, whether I'm using IDLE, your Python is going to remain same. Only environment is changing, right? Okay, so this again, I'll have to have else here, right? Under else, I'll have another if, right? And that if will be see, the indentation is completely wrong, so you have to handle that, right? For this if, see, if and else, they both come in the same line, right? You can see that I am aligning everything. So if and else are properly aligned, always. So this if is aligned with this if is aligned with this else. Similarly, this if has to be aligned with this else. Else I'm going to print. Okay. Now see, check this out. Marks as 52. Right, 52 we are getting grade E. So this is getting satisfied, right? Now guys, so normally Rajendra and everybody, uh, if you are proceeding with the normal way of working, you see that it is going like a ladder, right? Or a staircase at your house, right? Things are going deeper, right? Now this way of writing code is absolutely correct, right? But the only downside to this is that after a bit longer, after many conditions, you get confused, right? You get confused regarding the structure, you get confused about what is happening, right? So avoid this confusion, to avoid this mess, we basically compress, or Python has compressed else if into elif. Okay? This else if, basically this else if into elif. This is what Python has done, like this. This is the only thing which is happening, guys. Okay? It simply got compressed into one part. Now we'll have to see the indentation. For that, best way is going here and hitting enter. Go until this your column and then hitting enter. The best way of handling this indentation. If you're not sure how much is the distance, then you work like this. Press play, provide any value, and you're going to get the answer. Okay, so I've explained this also, Rashid. No worries. Okay, understood, guys? If elif, it's quite easy to work with if elif. See, I prefer if elif instead of else if because of the reason, same reason. Right now, coming here. So if you're getting confused with this type of writing, it's basically your normal writing, right? Marks should see it's kind of a range we are giving, right? Marks should be greater than 80, but less than 90. You can do like this. You can write it like this. You're giving a range here. Right? Here we are giving the end statement, right? We're using the end. Here we are giving the range directly. We can do like this. Understood, guys? So you just have to keep in mind when you are writing this that your equal to comes after or comes second every time. So if you have greater than sign, less than sign, equal to is going to come after the greater than or less than sign, always. Okay, just make sure about that. Uh, so there's one exercise that you can perform at home. Take it as a homework, guys. So I'm going to give you a homework. See, we were working with BMI, right? We created a BMI calculator yesterday. Right, now, what you need to do is you need to actually make it more interactive, or you can say that more efficient, right? Now, you divide it into parts, uh, more than 30, uh, between 25 and 30, um, between 18 and 30, and less than 18, right? Okay, so these are the conditions. More than 30, you can write something exercise a lot. Between 25 and 30, you can write exercise more, right? Between 18 and 25, you can write you're good. Less than 30, right? Eat more, exercise less. Okay, so this is what you have to print, but with the name of the, see, you're taking three parameters, right? You have to print it with name of the user, with height, width. Wait, so when you write the statement, when you print this statement, you have to print hi, for example, hi Vidhan, for 1.85 meter and 102 kg, like for example, your BMI is, I think it's around 30, right? Your BMI is 30 or more than 30, right? It's going to be like that. Okay, and then you write the message. You need to exercise a lot. Okay? So something like this kind of a message that you have to print, a personalized messages. Okay, so that is your homework, guys. So you can build on top of your BMI calculator. So that is going to sort, I think, understanding of this particular exercise. Okay, now the next thing that we need to do, we're going to do is nested if. Now, nested if is quite interesting. Actually, it does not have any syntax, right? So forget about the syntax. We're simply going to write nested if. So basically, you have if inside if. Normally, we have seen if, then else, then inside else if. So here you have if inside if. Right? So that is what we call nested if. How does it look like? Let's take an example. So what I'm going to do is I am going to ask for the user for its his or her age. Right? Let's say age is 20 or any age, right? Int input. Uh, okay, I'm going to hard code it. You can change it later. Right? I'm asking for the user for its age, and I'm asking a user for location or nationality or location, whatever you want to ask. So location is USA, for example. Okay, it's a string, right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare, or I'm going to print if the person is from India, and if the person is less than 18, then that person is Indian minor. The person is from India and age is more than 18, then person is Indian adult, right? Okay, and if person is from USA, then we don't have to worry about that. Okay, okay, we are comparing for the Indians, say for example. Okay, that you have a lot of people who are entering their data, and you want to segregate the Indians who are adult and who are minor. So that kind of code we are creating. So what are you going to do? We are going to ask for, or we are going to compare the location. Right here, you are comparing, right? That's something that we have not tried. Right? If location, say, is equal to let's say that US citizen we are comparing, USA. Right? We can do that, right? Comparator, see, double equal to is basically comparator. So whatever value we are getting of the variable location, if that value is matching with this value, then this condition is true. In that case, this block is going to get executed. Here again, we are comparing one more condition. If age is say greater than 18, right? So first thing that is going to compare is the location. Then it's going to find out the age. If age is greater than 18, simply going to print the person is an adult from USA. We can print like this. Okay. It will have an else condition. See guys, see here what I've done. When I hit enter after this, you'll see that I am still in the inner block, right? Okay. But always remember that your if and else are in the same line. So I'm going to hit a backspace and then I'm going to write else. See here, I am making sure that my if and else are in the same line. Okay. Else, what I'm going to print? Okay, minor as in age. Okay. Now this is your if and else. Now if I want to write, see, I want to have the else condition for this also. So I'm going to get out of this code block, right, by hitting backspace, and I have else. Else will be what? The person is not USA citizen. Okay, that is what you can do. Okay, a very simple example. Let's see. The person is an adult from USA. So if I write 9, the person is USA minor. Okay, try it out. Now you can do one thing. You can change few things. Ask for the user-defined values, okay, instead of hard coding it. That is what we call hard coding, right? Instead of hard coding these values, ask for user to enter it. Yes, exactly. That's a nice code. Let me share this. So one of the code is shared by Sagar. You can also try it out. So right now I'm going to comment this so that we don't lose what we are doing. Okay. So see this. So this is what we call nested if. So inside if you have if. Right? That is what we call nested if. Okay. Got it, guys. So that ends your if else if elif, right, nested if. Okay. So that is the basic understanding of if else if. So any queries on this you can ask me. And after the queries we are going to move to uh, loops for while. After loops, we'll see if we have time. Then we can start with the functions. Okay. I think we will be able to start with the functions. Now your X statement, sorry, your else is not getting executed. Let me check. It is. Check. Your indentation might have an issue, Neeraj. Kindly check. See, I've executed the same code that you have provided me, right? Okay, select this only this part of the code, hit Control Enter. Okay, do one thing, try it on Collab. Many times when you are writing so many codes in a single file, your interpreter kind of gets confused, right? Okay, because we are simply executing small blocks out of huge, a big Python file that we have created. Right. So try it on Collab and see what you're getting. So this ends our controls. Now create a new file, guys, and name it as loops, right? Loops.py. Okay, there's one more exercise that you can try, right, regarding control. Okay, that is going to be a bit confusing, might be a confusing, where you are simply calculating a discount, right? Okay, take one more exercise, guys, and after that you can start with the loops. Okay, what you basically want to do is you're going to ask for the user, right, to enter the amount or the price of shopping, right? What you're going to do is, according to the price that user has entered, you're going to give him discount, right? If the user has spent more than 10,000, give that person discount of say 30%. If user has spent between 5,000 and 10,000, give him a discount of 20%. Uh, if user has spent between 1,000 and 5,000, so this is going to be 10,000. Give him a discount of 10%. Less than 1,000, no discount. Right, so that is what you have to do. Now, in this scenario, guys, you have to see. I am more interested in looking at this problem statement or your solutions. Right. The reason is because there's a lot of things that can do. You can do optimize this code a lot. Right. Now, what you have to do is you have to print for the user that okay, you have shopped for this much, and this is the percentage of discount you are getting, and this is the discounted price you are getting. Right. So this is what you have to print. Hi, Vidhan, for spending say 12,000 rupees, right? Okay, you get discount of 30%. Your final bill or payable amount is whatever XYZ amount is. Okay, so something like this you have to print. Okay? That is another thing that you can try, and this should uh, conclude our uh, if or control statements. Yes, Anisha, I'll mute you during the break. Okay, so let's go for a break, and after that we can work with loops. Okay, so let me start the break time here, and meanwhile I'll have an interaction with others. So it's a break, guys. You have 50 minutes. Okay. Manisha, kindly raise your hand so that I can see your name. Okay, I found you. Yes, please.
But I have missed three lectures, live lectures, last Saturday, Sunday, and yesterday.
Sorry,
Hello?
you have a lot of noise at your end, so I'm not able to hear you properly.
Am I audible now? Hello?
Yeah, you're audible, but there's a lot of static. Yeah, please tell me.
Okay, Vedant, I have missed three lectures, online
Hmm.
session, right? Due to my kids' exams.
Okay.
Okay, so I went through that LMS, but
Hmm.
in those LMS, I have some queries. So, what will
Okay.
be the best solutions for that?
Uh, you can do one thing. You can drop a mail. See if the query is regarding what kind of queries you have, first of all.
Some in string, I did not understand where to use and how to use. Right,
What to
I
use?
got it that whatever that inverted comma return, it is string, right? So string we use in printing something every time,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Not exactly. It's for string is a data type actually. Like
Okay.
print for printing something, you have print function. With the help of print
Yes,
function, you print things.
yes. I got that. Okay, if I want to print anything, any damn thing on my screen, then I have to use print function, and
Yep.
in that bracket, I need to write, right? If I
Yes.
want
Kind
to
of.
print something, then I have to use print function, right? But
Yes.
I
Exactly.
still confused in a little bit string function. Actually, I have marked the what to say the at what time I got confused. If LMS video is for 1 hour and 27 minutes, so I marked that okay, yes, 58 minute पे जो है ना, I don't get that point.
Okay.
Right. So, what will be the best solution to resolve those queries? And whom do I ask? You will be there for resolving these queries, or I need to connect to support team.
See, there are one and only way for connecting is via connecting through support team. Now, the
Okay.
resolution of query can happen in multiple ways. One
Hmm.
is you can drop a mail, as in, okay, if you have any query, you can drop a mail and then your query will be reverted on the mail. That's one thing. If the
Okay.
queries are not solvable over the mail, then
Okay.
support team can make you connect with me over the call, right? Like what we are doing right now.
Okay.
If again your query is not being able to be solved over the phone, then what
Hmm.
we can do is we can have a remote session where
Okay.
I or
Okay.
anybody from
Okay.
support team will access your
Okay.
machine.
Okay. 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 Got it. Okay. So what will I do? I'll again, actually, I was knowing this thing that I have missed three lectures, and today, whatever you will going to explain me, quite difficult for me. But though I started with the lectures and I want to join, I'll start whatever you will teach today. I'll try to understand. I'll try to grab it, and if I'll have some queries, then I'll drop a mail, and I need to drop a mail to support, right? Not you
Yes, support.
directly.
No, no, not to me directly, but support.
Oh, okay,
Yeah. Okay.
okay. Thank you, Vidan. Thank you.
Okay. Welcome. Okay. Let's see other queries. Uh, just a second. Okay. Suresh. Uh, okay. Can you there? Please tell me what you want to ask.
Yeah, Vidhan, I just joined today, and I know Python complete, not completely, but uh, I know up to the basics, and I also know this NumPy
Okay.
and some other what are those are called?
Pandas.
Yeah,
Sky.
pandas.
Okay.
But I joined this course mainly because I want to know how to work on projects.
What kind of project you want to work on or you're working on?
No, I am not working on any project till, and I should. I should I should get some 3 to 4 projects from you so that I can put in my resume.
Okay. Okay, I can give you the problem statements. I can tell you what you can do. See, first of all, we are learning the basics of Python.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, on the basis of the basic of Python, the projects that you can do are going to be very basic one, right? Okay. But apart from that, on the automation, see what I'm going to teach you regarding log files and automation. On that, you can do some of the projects. But again, if you know pandas and numpy, then I can give you some projects which are more on the advanced side. We'll see
Okay.
that. Okay, we'll see that.
Okay. Do you provide code and complete guidance to do the projects and all this?
I will guide you, but providing code is something that you should be building, right? Okay, that you
Yeah.
have to learn, and I'll guide you how to do that. Okay,
Okay. Okay then. Thank you.
okay, welcome. Okay, then guys, I'll be back in 8 minutes. Okay. It is. Um, okay, so I'm going through your code. Okay, what do you want me to do in this? The logic correction? You can multiply by 0.3, right? This is what you can do. Well, okay, we'll check at the end of session. Okay, sorry. Okay, so guys, let's talk about the loops. So basically, a loop, you can execute a single statement or a group of statements many times, like, repetitively. That is what your loops are for, basically, right? So you have three types of loops that we come across, right? You have for loop, which is basically an iterator. You have while loop, and then again you have nested loop, which is a combination of for and while. Right? So there are three kinds of loop that you come across. Right? Let's see the syntax. Now, before moving forward, we need to understand one more function, right? Sorry, which is what we call range function. Right? This range function is used a lot in Python, especially in the loops. Right? Okay, you'll see that this range function is used a lot for different kinds of loop. Okay, so here, as the name suggests, we provide a range. Okay, we simply provide a range, and via that range, you can work with. Say, for example, you can write range 5. Okay, so that is the range function. Okay, I'm going to show it on the this end. Right, say I wrote range 5. Hit enter, you'll see that range from 0 to 5. Right? Okay. So this is how you write a range function, but how does it look like? So I can do like this. List range 5. Right? Now you see that. What basically is happening here? Right? I'm passing range function to a list. Right? So it is creating a list of 5 elements starting from 0 going till 4. Okay, so range function basically gives you a uniform numbers, and when you give a range, say 5, 6, 7, you're basically giving the number of elements you want, and each element will start from 0. So basically, it's going to give you a bunch of numbers. Okay, and you are defining when you are writing range 5, then you're defining that okay, I want 5 numbers. When you say range 100, that means that you want 100 numbers. Okay, so that is how your range basically work. Now it helps a lot in loops so that you can execute a particular loop this many times. Okay. We'll explore this more. Okay. Now first is what we call for loop. For loop is an iterating loop. Right? The syntax is like this: for, you give an iterating variable. Say for example for I, right? And this iterating variable, we can define that, Dharmesh. I'm going to show you, explain you how it works. Right? For now, you just have to see this basic part. Okay. So you give an iterating variable and you want to iterate through a sequence. Like sequence could be your list, could be your tuple, right? Even it could be your string. Anything which has a bunch of elements is what we call sequence. So basically, you write something like this for I in say range 5. Range is a function which gives you a sequence, right? After that, you write a colon, and as soon as you write the column, that means that you're going to go inside a block. and then you write your statements whatever you want to perform. Okay, so that is the common syntax of for loop. Now, for loop, guys, is not a mathematical loop, right? It is your iterating loop. So we use it to iterate to the sequence or data structure. Right? This could be a sequence. This could be your data structure, right? Okay. Let's see this. Say, for example, for I is a iterating variable in uh, range 5, right? So that is a sequence. I want to print I. See this. What this function is doing. What is happening here basically. Can you understand this? What is happening here? Anyone? Okay, guys. So this is a very good example to understand how your for is working. See, you can apply it to data types or data structure also. Say, for example, for I in Python, print I. This will give you a better clarity. See, what is it? What is it printing? Yes, the iterating it for a range of 5 is a temporary variable. That is yes, exactly. So basically, guys, what is happening here is that you have a for, which is a loop, and then you have a variable I, which is the iterating variable. See, we call it variable for a reason. You understand why? Now, what this variable or this loop or this for is going to do is going to analyze this Python. Okay, it is analyzing the Python, and then it is taking each and every element at a time. Right. So when your first time loop is executing, I is being assigned a value P. Right. So your for loop is going to go through the complete string, right? Okay, first time I will be assigned value P. Okay, and then once I is assigned value P, this code block is going to be executed, which is print I, which is P. You will get P printed. Then again, I will be assigned value Y. You'll have Y printed, and so on till there's nothing to print, right? So I is basically your iterating object, and for loop basically iterates through or goes through your data structure, sequence, or strings. Okay, that is what it's doing. Yes, Suresh, because we are starting with the loop in the start, or we are starting with the triple quotes in the start, so it might be giving you an error. Okay, so don't leave the spaces, 4 spaces in front of this triple quotes. Yeah, it's not working like that. No, so here it is creating a problem, but normally it should work, right? So don't follow this here. Right. So guys, don't have these 4 spaces rules here, but normally it is applicable. Okay. For that we use break, right? We use break, right? We have continue, break, and pass. These are the keywords that we use for that scenario. Dave. Okay, I'll show you that too. Yes, you can write comment like that also, but I prefer writing multi-line commenting. Hash is also used for commenting. Yes, it's up to you how you want to comment. Both are being ignored by your Python interpreter, so both works. Yes, breaking condition will be value check, not the index check. So basically, you can check the index also. Instead of here, say for example, if see, I can do like this, right? S equals to you can compare it, right? Okay, you'll have to do something like this, Dave. Okay, inside your for you can use if, and then on the basis of index you can break it. Okay. See what you can do with you. No, no, you'll have to go through the range function here. Okay. Um, mm, 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 mm. Just a second. Okay, so what I've done here is I have a string. Okay, so you want to get the index of 0, then you'll have to use the functions, right? The functions, the methods that we have used. Okay, say for example you want to get the index of O. So how do you get the index of O? What are the ways for getting that? There's only, I think, one method there, which is basically index, right? That is the only way you can use it. Otherwise, you want to manipulate it with the help of say like this, right? Then you can use this way. Okay, basically you can use it like this range. Um, yeah, here this will give you a number, right? Say at index 0 you have P, at index 1 you have this, at index 4 you have this. Okay. Uh, See this, if you are able to understand this, otherwise no worries, I'll explain it to you. Okay. Okay, I am going to delete this, right, because we are not at this level right now, right? Okay. So coming back to here, so guys, basically what we are doing here is uh, your I or your for loop is an iterating loop which returns you back all the values which are inside your sequence or data structure, and then you can manipulate those values, right? You can use those values. Okay, so your interpreter in this case is going to take one element at a time, right? For example, in for I in Python, print I. So your interpreter, with the help of I, is going to take one value at a time, and it is going to give you to further manipulate it. Right? That is what your for loop does in every language. Okay. Okay. Try one exercise out, guys. Okay, you can do the same with the. Uh, list also. Say you have I in list. Right? You can do the same task over any of the data structure. Okay. Now take a task. Okay, I'm using a. See, the reason I don't use hash is because then you are not able. You won't be able to see it properly. That's one of the reasons I don't use hash. Okay, it's kind of hides it. Okay, now see there is a list. Okay, there's a list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. Now what you have to do is, with the help of for loop, print the summation of elements of list. That means that your final answer should be 5 plus 4 plus 9 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, that is 15. Try it out. Because you're doing it wrongly, Rajendra. For dict, you have to get keys or values or items. That is the method that you have to call. Okay, keys or values or items, not like range. Yes, Dave. Easy one, right? Okay, I'll show you how to loop through a dictionary also. So this is your list. Right now, for doing the summation, guys, you need to have a placeholder. You need to have a variable which will be able to hold all your calculation. Right? That variable has to be there, and we'll have to keep the initial value as 0, or in other words, we will have to initialize it with value 0. And then what you need to do, sum equals to sum plus I. Okay, that means that what, every time your iterator will go through the list, it's going to take one value, and that one value is going to be added into the sum variable. Okay? So it's a placeholder. And then after all the addition is done, we are going to simply print the sum variable. Okay. Now, how is it working? Yeah. See this, try it out, and ask me queries, and I'll explain you how is it working. Right. Just to see that how this is working, simply put print inside the for loop only, and you'll get an idea of how these things are working. Right? That will give you a very good idea. So you should print it, try both of them out and see which results matches. So out, print should be out of it. But for understanding it, I have kept it inside so that you understand how it is working, the logic. Okay, now how does it working? See, we have to have a placeholder which is going to hold all the calculation, all the summation, right? So some variable whose initial value is 0 is going to be acting as a placeholder. Now, uh, first I will be assigned value 1. So 0 plus 1 will be 1 and we are printing it here. So you're getting 1. Now, once this is done, loop will again run, right? This time i's value will be 2. So 2 plus 1, because sum is already 1, right? The variable value of sum's value is 1. So 2 plus 1 is 3, and we are printing 3. Since we are inside the loop only, print is inside the loop. Again, 3 will be assigned, 3 plus 3, 6, 6. 4, 4 plus 6, 10. 5, 5 plus 10, 15, right? Okay. So that is why we have 1, 3, 6, 10, 15. Now, the sprint is inside the for loop. So every time for loop is going to execute, you're going to get the print output. But we don't want to have print output every time for loop is executed. We want to have print output once your loop is completely executed. So we are going to move it out of the for loop. Okay. Now this how is going to work? Your for loop will first completely get executed. That means that all the 5 elements will be iterated through, and then it's going to print the sum, the final value of a variable. Good, guys? Okay, any queries here, any confusion? So this is one of the a bit complex code, but it's again completely logical, right? It's all logic. Okay, you are multiplying. Okay, makes sense. So you can do the multiplication also. It's up to you. Okay. Depends on your scenario, guys. In that case, you have to initialize this not with 0, but with 1, because multiplying everything with 0 is going to result you in 0, right? Okay, have that as 1. So these are logics that you might need to change, guys. Okay. Now, coming back to the range function, let's explore the range function more, right? Okay, for I and say range, let's increase the range. say 25. Okay. Simply going to print I. Right. So what is it going to print? Okay, tell me guys. If I have it like this, function is range whose value we are plotting as 25. What it's going to do is it's going to give you 25 elements starting from 0 with equal width of 1. So it will start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till 24. That is what you're going to get printed here. Right. Now, there are a few things that you'll notice. One, that the jump between two elements is of value 1. Okay. Right. The value the jump is 1. Increment or incrementing which is happening here has value 1. That is one thing. Second, okay, that is one thing that you will observe. Now you can control a lot of more things here. Say for example, for I in range, you can define the start point and the end point. Say I want range to start from 10 and end like this. I can do that. Right. So range is going to start from 10 and it's going to go up till 25. Right. So basically what you're doing here, start, end. You're providing start and the end. Okay. So you can have the start and the end point where you want to your range to vary. Right. Apart from that, see, till now you'll see that the increment is only 1. You can change that also. You can define the step size. Right. What you can do is you can do something like this: range, start, end, step size. When I say step size, it will look like this. I want it to jump two values at a time. I can define it like this. You can see that from 10 it's going to 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Right. This is one more thing that you can do with this, right? Range function. Okay, now I wanted to try it out for decrementing it. Can we decrement it, guys? Can we have negative values here? Can we instead of incrementing it by 2, let's decrease it by 2. Okay, try it, guys. Instead of increasing it from 10, 12, 14, 16, decrease it. Let's see if you're able to do it or not. Try it out. How are you going to do this? Yes, exactly. So the step size you can give as negative. Oh yes, one thing that you have to take in account, like when you're decrementing it, if you give your start point is 10, end point is 25, and you want to decrement it by -2, this is going to make you work. Wait, it's not going to work actually, right? Because this is not the exact thing you should be doing. So you should be giving a higher number and decrementing, de-incrementing or decrementing it to a lesser number. like this. Okay, so you can do like this also. Now you can combine for loop with if, right? Or basically, like say for example, you have a list. So you have a list of number. One, two, three, four. Okay, let's have a list of number where I'm providing the yeah, and you create list like this also, right? 100. Okay, now when I write like this, what do you mean by that, guys? So basically, I'm creating a list with the help of list function where I'm passing a range function which is going to create a list of elements starting from 0 going till 100. Right? That is what this is going to do. Now, I can have for I and li numbers. Right? I simply press tab and it auto completed, right? Okay, tab is used for auto completion. Right, so that is your for. Okay, for I and this list. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out which number is say even or odd. Right? You can do that. Right, you can have I percentage 2 is equal to 0. That means that print uh, the number is even. Right? We can write which number? Simply write I. Okay. Else the number will be odd. Okay. So basically, we are simply printing even and odd, nothing like that. Right. So the point is that it's so easy to work with Python regarding your normal logics. Right. See, percentage two. What does modulus do or percentage do? It basically gives you the remainder or quotient. What does it do, guys? The reminder's value is 0. That means that the number is even. If the remainder value is not 0, the number is not even. Okay. Let me tell you. Basically, it works like this. So when you are dividing it by 2, let's say the number is 8. So what is going to be? 2 4 times is going to be 8. It's going to result in a remainder which is 0. Right. So this modulus is doing this also. 8 percentage 2 is giving you basically 0. That's the value of your remainder. Remainder, what are you going to call it? Right. Okay, that is what we are calculating here. Right. So if I divide any value of the list by 2 and if value is 0, that means that that is an even number, right? Okay. Only in even number cases the remainder is 0. In odd cases the remainder is not going to be 0. Right. Okay. Thank you, Rajin. You see this? Right, so this is one of the very simple use case you can say that of involving for and if. Okay, guys, check this out. And if you have any queries, you can ask me. Understood, guys? Any queries? Any queries, guys? Okay, so when we involve for and if, then there's another concept that comes into the picture. Can we print count of odd, 7, even? Okay, I didn't understand your query. Can we print count of odd, 7, even? I didn't understand that, Sagar. Yes, you can do that. It's up to you. Like inside if only you can have that. You'll want to get all the loops. After that, you should be doing that. What you can do is basically what I can do here is, okay, let me see. I can have a count for a counter, and I can initialize its value, and then here I can increase that count. Right. Every time it's going to get executed, I'll increase that count by 1. Okay, I can do that, right? Say count even. See, guys, now what I'm telling you is completely logic, right? Syntax part is a very simple part. Now, logic is something that it depends on you, right? Let's say print. So you can get the count of how many even numbers are there. So there are 50 even numbers. Got it? That is what I think. That is what you wanted, right, Sagar? Okay. So see again, I just included uh, you can say that a placeholder or a container which I'm filling. Every time this loop is going to get executed, it is going to add one. Uh, every time this if is going to get executed, it's going to add one variable here, well, one value here. You can do the same thing for odd also. Okay, starting from 0, going to 99, you get these two values. Okay. Check this, guys. If you only want to print odd or even, then don't have else, right? See, if you want to only print the odd, then remove the else part for even or for odd also. You can have instead of this is for even, right? You can have not equal to for odd. Right? You can use not equal to. Like now, the number is even, value is printed is odd. Right? Understood, Ramesh? You can do like this. We use not equal to for that. How to print less from a range? Yes, that is what I was trying to show you, and that is what I'd show you. Let me show you again. If you want to print a list from a range, what you do is, okay, see here, guys, you'll have to use list function. Right? These functions are very much handy, right? We have seen tuple, list, all these functions, right? And in the list function, you have to pass range function with the value like this. Okay, see this, Neeraj? Got it, guys? So I can do these things also, like 25, comma 2. Okay, I can have a selective list. Okay, now this range function is only applicable on integers, or you can see that numbers. Okay. Now there are a few more things which comes with for and if. Okay, let me hide all the upper complexities. Right? Say for example, for I in Python, if say I is equal to O, right? I can have such condition. Like what I can do is I can uh, break it. Sorry, break it. I can print I. Okay, this is what we call break. Right now, these are the you can say that special keywords or characters that we use. Right now, see guys, what we are doing is we are iterating through Python, right? And when you iterate through Python, what it's going to do is it's going to take every element and then it is going to give you to manipulate it. So we are manipulating it. What we are doing is we are comparing if the value of I is equal to O, this O. If it is, then we are breaking the loop. So break keyword or statement is used for breaking the loop. So you can see that as soon as your Python interpreter encounters break, it is going to stop the loop. Right? After O, nothing is coming. Let's say after H, right? H will be the middle point. Right? So you use break to break the loop. Under certain condition, you want that your loop should not be executed anymore. Then you put if condition, and inside that you put break. Okay, and break, as the name suggests, is for breaking the loop. Now, for breaking it, guys, it has to be always inside if. So this is your break. Similarly, you have continue. Continue is quite interesting. You'll see why. With the continue, we can skip that condition and your loop is going to work, but is going to skip H. See here, you have no H, you have Python instead of Python. Okay, so that is your continue. So these two are very much used in Python for different scenarios. But for the same purpose, that is breaking the loop. Oh, now guys, perform a little exercise. You have a list. Okay, iterate through all of three and tell me what you get. Can you iterate through all of these? List, tuple, and set. Try it out. When I say iterate through it, then put it in a for loop. Try it out. Now, the query is, can I iterate through set? See, we are looking at iterating through data structure. Done? Yes, that is what your set is all about, right? That is the basic definition of set. Set is a unique collection of, or set is a collection of unique data types. There's no repetition in set. So guys, the way that we created the list earlier, right? If somebody asks you, right, the way we created the list, this is what basically we call list comprehension, right, in a way, or creating a list in a Pythonic way. Okay. Yes, Dave. Okay, let's see. So you have for I in se print I. Now, is it going to work? Okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay, so one thing is clear from this, guys, is that your for loop does not iterate on the basis of index. Okay, it only goes to the element. It does not matter what is the order of the element. See here, the order in which it is printing is entirely different. It's not increasing or decreasing order, right? Okay, so that shows that your set is an unordered collection of unique data types. Right? See, there's repetition has been removed. Like 34 was coming several times, that has been removed. Apart from that, irrespective of index is there or not, your for loop is going to iterate through the data structure. Okay, so yes, you can iterate through the set because this for loop does not care about the indexing. Okay, Can we do the same thing using dictionary, guys? See, we have seen the three data types structure. See, if you can do on lists, same can be applied on tuples. Same, right? So there's no difference. Now, can I do it over the dictionary? Yes, right. Okay, create a dictionary, guys. Any dictionary that you want to create. Okay, in dictionary, guys, you can iterate, yes, through one, you can iterate through all the keys. Two, you can iterate through all the values. Three, you can iterate through all key value pair. Right? These are three things that you can do in dictionary, right? While iterating through a dictionary. Okay, so create a dictionary, any of a dictionary that you can think of. Create it. Did you create any dictionary earlier? Okay, no, so we have to create the one. Okay, I'll have with the numbers. Okay. Okay. So create such dictionary, guys. So you have dictionary. Now, if you want to loop through it for I and di, print I. See, normal looping. What it's going to do? Check this out. Right. By default, it is only going to consider the keys, not the values. Okay. So if you're thinking that, okay, I want to loop through the dictionary and I want to get the values or key value pair, then no, it's not going to show you that. It's only going to show you the keys. Okay. Or you can get the keys like this, or you can get keys like d1 dot keys. They both are same. Okay. So if you want only values, this is how you get the keys. If you want only values, you simply write d1 di dot values. Okay, you'll get the values. Okay. Now, if you want both, you can have for I and j and di dot items print. I. See this? Because your items method that is associated with dictionary gives you both, right, keys and value. So for having keys and value, we have two iterating objects now, or two iterating variables now, I and j. I will be for your values, sorry, keys, and j will be for your values. See this? So these are three things that you can do with a dictionary. Okay, you want to compare a certain value associated with a key. Or you can see, you can compare the values. Okay, there are different scenarios that can happen. Uh, I can have for I and di dot uh, values, if I is equal to max, it's case sensitive, right? Print value matches. Okay, so you can compare directly the values, or if you don't want to compare directly with the values, you can compare it with the keys. See, but while comparing with the keys, see, it happens, the scenario are there where you have to use the keys, not the values. Okay, so both the scenarios you can work like this. See, whenever you ask for a value associated with a key, we pass that key inside the dictionary like this, right? Okay, so that is what we are using here. Good. Rajendra. Okay, so these all things we can do with the dictionary actually. Okay, so we have covered looping through string, we have covered looping through a range function, we have covered looping through all the data structures. Okay, and we have seen nested loops where loop with if, right, where we have seen break and continue. So these are things, major things that we have in for loop, right? So no worries guys, these codes will be uploaded on the LMS, so you get all these codes. Next is what we call while. Okay, next is what we call while loop. Now, what does while loop do, guys? Any idea? See, your loops are same in all the languages, whether you are talking about Java, you're talking about C, C++, your loops are same. Anyone? What does while loop do? So basically, what you do is you provide a base condition, right? You write while condition, okay? And till this condition is satisfied, this loop is going to execute. Till the condition that we have mentioned in the while is satisfied, this loop is going to work again and again. Like example, that you have x equals to 0, right? While x is less than equal to 100, let's say 10, 20 will be good. Print x. Now, x initial value we have provided 0, right? and x is obviously less than 20, so it's going to run, right? And since we have not defined any other condition, this is going to run an infinite loop. You see that I'm stuck in infinite loop condition. Okay, why? Because 0 is going to be less than 20 always, so it's always going to print 0. So first, let's start. Let's break this. You have to use Control C for breaking it, guys. Like Control C is what we call keyboard interrupt. Okay, so I have interrupted this infinite loop. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give one more thing here. I'm going to increase every time this loop is getting executed. I'm going to increase the value of x by 1. That is going to limit my condition, right? So first time your loop will run, 0 is less than equal to 20. You are getting printed 0. Then we are adding 1. Then your while loop again will compare 1 is less than 20. Yes, 1 is less than 20. You will get printed 1. Yes, 1 is printed. Then 1 will become 2 and so on. Right? Till what point? Till you have 20. Right? So yes, you get 20. 20 is less than equal to 20. Yes, print 20. After that, you get 21. Now 21 is not less than equal to 20. So your loop will break at this point. Okay, so that is how your while loop work. Good? Good, guys? Now, while loop, see for example, I use this loop a lot for creating an infinite scenario, right? Where I want a certain condition to run infinitely. So for that, what I do is I use while true, say print hello. Now this condition is going to be true always, right? Because it starts with true only, right? So that is the infinite scenario that you can get. Or another infinite scenario that you can get is while 1 is equal to 1. Print. Hi. That is again another infinite scenario. So normally I use while loop a lot for creating a never-ending scenario, right? With a delay. Okay, we'll see those delay or time module. Right? We'll talk about these things in the next lecture actually, with functions and modules. Okay, so that is your for while loop. See this, guys, and ask me if you have any queries. So normally we use for loop a lot, and while loop is something that we don't use that much, and it's only conditional loop, right? And it's kind of a mathematical loop. You can see that. Okay. Okay. What do you want to do with this? See, first of all, while uh, Dev is not a function or a method, right? In Python, okay, it's a conditional, or you can say that while is a keyword. We call this keyword. Okay. Now, if you want to emulate something like this, do while. Right? That is what I think what you're asking, right? If we can do something like this in Python. Okay. Can we emulate this? Yes, we can do that. Okay, let me compare this with say C code. Okay, let's see a comparison. Yes, try it out, Rajendra. You can try it out. Basically, we use break for breaking the infinite loop condition, actually, to be honest, right? Or at a certain condition. Okay, let's see this thing, guys. I'm going to compare C code with Python code. Right. So in C, we have a condition. You can see that, okay, which is a do while, okay, which is a very old do while loop that we have in C. Right. You can write something like this. Let's have int I equals to say 1 do string. Here we have printf, and say I just want to print I don't want to change the line or anything like that, right? In fact, you can include percentage %n and all, backslash n and all. Right? That is your one do, and after that, I want to increment I. That is just a sec, guys. What is happening? I equals to I plus 1, right? Okay, and this should end your do. And then you have to have while. So, and while you'll get the condition where you are comparing less than equal to 3. Okay, right. This is how it looks like, right, Dave? Where basically what you're doing is you are your initial value of I 1, and you're incrementing I with 1, and then you're running a while loop for less than 3 condition. Right? Now, same thing you can emulate in Python also. How are you going to do that? You have I equals to 1. Right? You can have while true, you can have an infinite loop while true, or while 1 equals to 1. Not again. Okay. Okay. Under while true, what I'm going to do is first thing I want to do is I want to print say I. Of course, I want to print I. That is what your do is also doing, printf. Right? And of course, second thing I want to do is I want to increment this I equals to I plus 1. Okay, and after that, now here, what I can do is I can break the condition. See, it's an infinite loop. Right? I can break the condition with the help of if, say, I can have if like this, right? You can use parentheses, or you can simply use like this: if I is greater than 3, right? Then simply break it. Okay. So this is the comparison. No, no, your while covers that condition. Okay. So do while task can be done in Python using only while. Okay. You just have to use the break. Okay. So we'll continue with functions from here in the next lecture. That completes your for and while, and after that we're going to look at the functions. We're going to create our own functions, the arguments of function. Then we'll move to modules in the next lecture only, and we'll create our own uh, modules, and then we'll talk about inbuilt modules. Where we'll see different modules like which are used for handling files and all those tasks. And then we'll move to file operations, and after that regular expression, and in the process we'll start doing task automation and logging the data or reading the log files, all those things. Okay. So I think today completes your basics of Python in a way. Next, we are moving to move to functions, which will be a bit of advanced. Okay. Any queries you have, you can ask me. Or did I tell anybody to stay after the session? Please remind me because I don't remember at all. Okay. Or did I solve all of your queries? Do let me know. Task automation, as in basically you're saving your time, right? Repetitive tasks that you do in your daily life, you're simply automating it with the help of batch file or your Python code. Normally, what I prefer doing is that I have a Python code and I create a batch .bat file and I execute out that .bat file and then it runs Python code in the background. And then in that Python code, I have some lines of code which is there for simplifying my task. You can say that. Okay. Here's one of the example. Okay. So this course was majorly designed for doing such things only, right? With the basics, right? Because with the basics you can do all such things, right? Logging data, logging, reading log files, automating your task, right? Which is actually useful in your normal work life also and in the projects also. Okay, so that will be all for today, and we'll continue from here in the next lecture, next week. Have a good week. Yes, you have the assignment. Yes, Arjun, I've shared those assignment, right? See, this is BMI calculation. You have to use if and else, and you have to. Okay, let me share this again. This is one of the assignment that you have to try. Another is you were already working on BMI, right? So expand that, elaborate that, evolve. We need to evolve that into something big, right? Okay, so you can work on these. Okay, your code. Let me check your code. So getting any error here, Sagar, or any issues you're getting here? Sure, sure, Dev. You can contact support team and they can connect us. There's an issue with the indentation. Can you check that? Okay, you got 30% discount. Okay. Okay, so percentage is something that is annoying, right? Okay, it is taking the value of from this percentage into this. So that is why, guys, Sagar, we don't prefer using percentage. So I'll suggest using format. Okay, so that is why we had to Python had to move from percentage to format. So format gives you better control, and there are no such issues with the format. Dot format, right? Okay, use that. So on 12,000, how much discount I got? 30%. That will be what? Yeah, 8,400 is good. Okay. So the reason that you're getting this error is because this percentage is confusing your Python. So don't use percentage, use format. Got it? Everything is looking good apart from that. Sure, I'll upload it. Okay. Any other query you have, guys? Okay then, guys. Signing off now. Have a good week. Take care. Bye bye.